So yesterday we used FOIL to multiply a binomial times a binomial. Today we're going to do some more multiplication, but we're going to multiply all the other types of polynomials. Now what you have here is a binomial times a trinomial. The method that I'm going to show you will work for any set of terms, okay? It doesn't have to be 2 terms times 3 terms. It could be 3 terms times 3 terms or 3 terms times 4 terms. It doesn't matter. The first way I'm going to show you is the distributive property, and then I'm going to show you a box method, and you might like that better. Now, if you're going to use the distributive property, what you'll want to do is you want to take your smallest number of terms and distribute it to your largest number of terms. So I'm going to distribute x plus 4. Only distribute one term at a time. So I'm going to multiply x times x squared. X times x squared, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. I'm multiplying, I get to change my exponents. But I also have to multiply x to this next term, which is 3x. 1 times 3 is 3, and it's a positive 3. X times x, 1 plus 1, is 2. And then x times negative 6 is negative 6x. So I've distributed x to each term in this second parenthesis. So I'm done with x. Now I'm going to distribute my 4. Since I've already got these 3 arrows at the top, I'm going to distribute my 4 on the bottom. That way everything won't get mixed up. So positive 4 times x squared is just positive 4x squared. Positive 4 times 3x, that's going to be 4 times 3 is 12x. And then 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. So now I've multiplied 4 to every term that I can possibly multiply it to. So after I've done that, I'm finished with my multiplication. Now I need to take all of these and combine my like terms. So I notice my largest exponent is x to the third, so that's where I need to start. But there's only one of them. So I'm done. Now go to your squares. I've got positive 3x squared and I've got positive 4x squared. Let's take the 3 and the 4 and add those together, and that's going to give me positive 7x squared. Now let's step down to the first power. I've got negative 6x and positive 12x. Negative 6 plus 12 is a positive 6x. And then I'm going to step down to my constant term, and I only have one of those, which is negative 24. Okay, so I've got degree 3, so that's going to be cubic, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, so I just call that a polynomial. So a cubic polynomial. And that's how you multiply these using the distributive property. But these get a little bit confusing for some students. Some students, that doesn't matter, they're just going to do it. But it gets a little confusing for sometimes, so there's another way I can show this to you, and it's called the box method. Now, let me bring my piece of paper over here. What I want to do is I want to take my x plus 4, and I'm going to take each term and write it on the side of my box, x and positive 4. Now my second one, I'm going to put it on the top. I'll put my x squared, my positive 3x, and my negative 6, okay? So I didn't put a sign if it was positive, but I did put the negative sign because it's kind of necessary. So in between x squared and 3x and minus 6, I'm going to put that a line there. And in between x and 4, I'm going to draw a line across, okay? So what I've done is I've created a box where I can multiply length and width. X times x squared is x to the third. X and 3x is 3x squared. X and negative 6 is negative 6x. Then go down to this row. 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 3x is 12x. And 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. So this is a little bit more uniform. Everything's together nice and neat. I see that there's only one cube term, so I write it down. These two are my squares. 4 plus 3 is 7x squared. These two are my x's. 12 plus negative 6 is a positive 6x. And then I have my constant term down here at the end. So I get x squared plus 7x plus 6x minus 24. Well, that's what I got over here too. So you can use the distributive property or you can use the box method and you're going to get the exact same result. I don't care which one you use, just find a way that you're most comfortable with, that you'll remember, and you can do this in the future if you need to. Okay, so let's look at number 21. Let's do the distributive property and the box method so you'll be comfortable. So start by distributing 3a. 3 times 5 is 15. A times a squared, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times 2 is positive 6. A times a, 1 plus 1 is 2. Then 3 times negative 6 is negative 18a. So I've distributed the 3a to all three terms in the second parenthesis. Now I'm going to distribute 1. 1 times 5a squared, 1 times 2a, and then 1 times negative 6. So I've multiplied everything that I can multiply. Now I'm ready to combine like terms. Since I only have one cubed term, I'm just going to write it down. Then I've got 6a squared and 5a squared. 6 plus 5 is 11. So that's going to be a positive 11a squared. Then I've got negative 18a and positive 2a. So negative 18 plus 2 is negative 16. So negative 16a. And then finally I have my constant term, just one of them, which is a minus 6. So again, I have a degree 3, which is cubic, and 1, 2, 3, 4 terms polynomial, a cubic polynomial. Now, to use the box method, I'm going to take my two terms, 3a and positive 1, and put those on the left side. I'm going to put my 5a squared, my positive 2a, and my negative 6 on the top. So draw a line between 5a squared and 2a, and between 2a and negative 6. Those should be your vertical lines. In between 3a and 1, that's going to be my horizontal line. So let's multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. A times a squared is a to the third. 3 times 2 is 6. A times a is a squared. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, and then the a. Now multiply by 1. 1 times 5a squared, 1 times 2a, 1 times negative 6. So I've got my 15a to the third. These two are like terms, so add those together. These two are like terms, so add those together. And then I have my constant term at the end. So you'll see we got the exact same result. And again, I'm not pushing one way over the other. You need to find a method that works best for you and use it. Now, on the bottom, it's asking us to find the area of the shaded region. So in order to do that, what you need to do is, since this is a rectangle, multiply length times width. 9x minus 2 times 2x plus 7. This is going to be a FOIL situation right here, okay? Then you need to find the area of this little rectangle, 3x times x plus 12. So to find the area of the shaded region, you'll take the area of the entire rectangle, which is right here, and you'll subtract the area of the little rectangle in the middle. You're taking that area away from the big area, and that'll give you your final result. So I want you to do number 20, number 22, and I want you to finish this problem right here. I set it up for you, you finish it up. And y'all have a great weekend.